Hello. This week we're going to do another suggestion from a user that commented on my last post. Um, and this link leads on to what we did last week, actually, quite well. So today we're just going to talk about the struggles of college and life. As I've said before, I am a college student. I'm in the second year of my level 3 BTEC in media and journalism at a further education college, so I definitely can relate. The first thing I would say is I know how incredibly difficult it is. I think it's worse for A-level students, but it's still just so hard for college students or just BTEC students or degree students, or just any particular student really. I think anyone in year 11, I think year 11 definitely, pardon me, recently, anyone from year 11 or onwards who's a student and in some jobs can find it just so incredibly difficult to find time to work at home. It's just like family can do things and we can have other commitments, and it's just incredibly difficult to put them aside and really just to focus on your work. And often I feel when we get home, we just feel quite tired from the day, and we often just want to maybe to turn on the TV or just our laptop, and it's so hard just to get that feeling to work even longer. So what I would say is, for me, many of my lecturers at college actually gave me time to work on assignments or revise for exams in lesson time. I would strongly recommend that if you can have any, if any in any way there is any time to work on your college work or your coursework at school or college or university, whatever it is, I would take that opportunity because, as I say, it's so difficult. It's very difficult to work at home after a long day. So just take the opportunity and just use it. Like I think I said this in my last video. These ones so well. That often in the breaks, you have such good friends. You really, really want to spend the time to socialise with them. So it's becomes quite difficult to work. But as I said before, if you really do have outstanding work and you really need to focus your time on it, I would strongly recommend that you maybe put that time to aside just to work on any college work, and then when it comes to the evenings, you can relax a bit. But what I'd also say is even if when you come home and you do feel slightly tired, I would definitely say rest. Like never work when tired. It's really dangerous. You won't be putting your effort in the full effort into the work, and it will make you more excessively tired, and that can damage mental health. It can easily make you just feel like you're failing, and that can damage your mental health. That can make you feel really bad about yourself. I've had that before. So I'd recommend not to ever work when you're tired, as it can also affect your physical health if it makes you more tired. Once you really start to lack sleep and rest, you will start to feel ill, which is obviously damaging. So what I'd say is definitely when you get home, rest for some time, the time that you need, rest in the amount that you need. Just relax for a bit if you feel you need it, and then start some work again. Yeah, but and also I would say do not work till incredibly late. Like people are like, oh, I was up till 2 doing this. Just don't just don't do that. What I'd say is if you have got work over maybe a couple of days, possibly even a couple of weeks, try and spread it out over nights so you're not staying up really late in one night, especially if that's the night before, because you'll begin to stress, and stress really damages mental health as well, and you'll start to really worry, and no one likes that. So yeah, just make sure that night that you're working on it, you are not staying up too incredibly late. I would say the latest probably for proper work you should be is 10 o'clock. Really, I think after that you could easily start to feel tired, which, as I said before, is not good for when you're working, and it will damage your brain with work for too long. That really damages your thoughts and your health, really. Also, it's just the last thing I said, I'm going to go over this time as well, is if I know some people really like weekends and all that, and just like, oh, I really want to enjoy myself at the weekend. I would say is if you do not have anything in particular going on at the weekend, I would say try and just work on it at the weekend because you've just got so many hours free then. So just put some time in it at that time, and then you will not start to stress. So yeah. Um, Actually, probably the last thing I also would say is do not work. Do not want to be one of those people who work towards their holiday just for their holiday. Do not be someone who doesn't mind spending 7 days a week working incredibly at dressing. Just make sure you've got some free time, um, and just make sure you're relaxing away from it, and also just make sure you're enjoying yourself. That's what life is about, is enjoying it. And just make sure just sometime and do it. You're enjoying it, and don't be one of those people who said, "Well, I enjoy 2 weeks of the year excessively, and I only enjoy those 2 weeks." Don't be one of those people, as that just make the other 50 weeks really miserable, and you're gonna absolutely hate coming back from that holiday. So just don't be one of those people. So yeah, thank you for tuning in this week. Next, I have also got another suggestion for next week. So yeah, thank you for all these suggestions. But if you comment down below, I can do any video for you in the coming weeks, and it may not be directly the next week, but it will be in the future. So yeah, if any video you say, I would definitely try and make a video on it in the future. So thank you for tuning in this week, and tune in next week. And actually, I want to tell you what it is. I'll leave it a surprise.